boy, this video is hard to make. I'll be honest with you, like mentally, emotionally, just everything that I feel when I read this manga, Chainsaw Man. It is really tough to put on this camera right now and talk about some of the latest stuff leading up to, I want to say the latest chapter was 91 if I'm not mistaken, because man, talk about pulling at the heartstrings, the kokoro, you know, just destroying your feelings, fam, because Chainsaw Man, ever since, I want to say the last time I talked about it was shortly after Denji was just completely mind blown and Makima like revealed her true colors, and yeah, I think that was the last time I talked about it. But since then, I mean, we've just had from some goofs and gags of, like, you know, the Chainsaw Man showing up at the burger joint and Kobeni, oh my god, Kobeni being forced to play DDR, to the Edo Tensei-esque aspects of people from the past returning, the latest stuff with, spoiler alert by the way, power. Especially the power stuff though, like the latest chapter again, I want to say 91, has really had me on an emotional roller coaster, to be honest with you. Like, even talking about it right now, I know people like, oh, he's getting emotional with a manga. Hey, it's what I do. Look at my world here, people. You know what I'm saying? But man, Chainsaw Man has been just excellent, and the fact that we know now it's entering its final stage, its super climax. I don't know how much longer we have with it, maybe another couple months, because the final arc could last, you know, however long they wanted to. Obviously, Chainsaw Man has been blitzing speed fast. With 91 chapters, we've already reached like the climax and shit. That's crazy and unheard of, on top of the fact that it is very wildly successful. It's not, you know, anything of like it's getting axed, it's failing. Like, this is more than likely almost 100% due to the author having everything planned out and wanting to end it at this point, unless something else behind the scenes, maybe it's too graphic to get like a mainstream appeal, which I don't think so, because Attack on Titan, look how big that shit is, and Attack on Titan has incredibly tragic shit. But whoo, Chainsaw Man, let's talk some of that Chainsaw Man greatness. Yo, greatness is an understatement. Chainsaw Man, my gosh, one of the greatest manga of 2020. Let's talk.
I say we gon' do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move. That's how it be though.
Okay, so since the untimely demise of Power, things have went even crazier with Makima, Denji, and everything surrounding it. Basically, following that moment, we see Makima and we see that she's been reviving people. We see people from the past and shit like that. So she's gotten a hold of just numerous abilities at this point. Like, I don't even understand how Makima is just like this broken. But Kishibe, which he's still like the last person that Denji has. Like, at this point, you think about it, he lost Aki, he lost Power. I mean, Kobeni's out there, but didn't Kobeni run away from like everything at this point? Like, she doesn't want to be involved in shit. So Kobeni's still out there, but you know, Kishibe is really the true last stand against Makima, the last person that really even remotely cares about Denji and can save him from Makima. So when Kishibe showed up at first, I was like, thank you, somebody to help this poor fucking dude that is going through it, that has just been traumatized to the max, scene one of his closest people to him, Power, blown away by a woman that he idolized and worshipped. Like, thank you, Kishibe. Like, mwah, you're a godsend right now, fam. And after Makima gets basically assassinated there by Kishibe and all of his people and whatnot, she says, save me, Chainsaw Man. And right there, I just wanted some like 600-pound homeless guy. I don't know why he would be 600 pounds if he's homeless, but a 600-pound homeless guy that hasn't bathed in years should just sit on her face and drag his nuts across Makima's face. Like, that's what I would love right there when she says, save me, Chainsaw Man. Save you? You, bitch? You? No, you don't get that shit. But Denji, the inner simp shows up, the inner simp in him, and he turns into the Chainsaw Man, which he didn't do it by will. There was something there, whether it would be her control power, because remember, she's the control devil, and essentially he turns into this monstrous Chainsaw Man that also, which Black Clover just did it recently, but a lot of people are really inspired by Berserk, I guess. Looks like the Berserker armor from, you know, the series, the anime manga Berserk and shit like that, and he goes on a warpath. He just starts murdering left and right like a absolute savage. savage, and I ain't gonna lie, I was here for it. I was like, holy shit, like, cause every chapter from the last, like, I want to say, let's just say 15 or so, if we're at 91, I think 79, so about like, I don't know, 12, 13 chapters of Chainsaw Man. It's just been indescribable. Like, we cut from that, then there's a point where he shows up at the burger joint that Kobeni's working at now, and she's forced to serve him, and she keeps on tripping with the burger and shit like that. Then he takes her out on a date, and she's forced to play DDR. Like, her luck is ridiculous. I don't know if we've been revealed yet of her power or not, her contract and shit, but it has to be something with, like, she's going to have mildly bad, really bad luck moving through, but she ain't gonna die or something along the lines of that. I don't freaking know, but either way, Kobeni, the stuff with her, she's been like the most humor we've had throughout all this. I mean, there's still been crazy humor in it of, like, you know, just ironic shit, like little tiny inklings here or there, but Kobeni was probably the funniest thing, and I don't know if she's going to have a major part moving into the climax against Makima, but yeah, shout outs to Kobeni, because she even went up against Makima at one given point. Makima's there with all sorts of troops and soldiers and shit, and it's like, poor Kobeni, she, her mind right now. And a lot of that stuff, it was interesting, right? Because Denji has already done a lot of the things that when he was broke and in debt and shit like that, he had dreamed of doing. He ate great meals, and, like, you know, he was with friends and all sorts of shit that he dreamed of, he already had done. So I was a little bit confused because essentially Chainsaw Man was like Pochita in control, right? Like, that's what I assumed for the longest time. So when he's there, like, living out his dreams and thinking back to moments of, like, Denji saying, oh, I've always wanted to go out on a date, and he went on a date with Kobeni. I always wanted to eat a good meal that wasn't rotten, and he ate the burger and shit like that. I was wondering, why are we doing this if he already, you know, went through these things? Did Pochita not know of the stuff that Denji has been through since this point? Like, so I was a little bit confused in that regard of, like, Denji already accomplished a lot of those dreams, so why are we rehashing this, unless it was just to kind of physically in a different writing and a different perspective of a narrative to showcase, like, some of the things that Denji has always wanted, and he already accomplished them, but we're seeing them again. I don't know, that was just a little bit confusing, or it could just be that these are, again, the inner things of one more time him wanting to be able to accomplish these things and showing him to the reader of, like, look, he did it, he accomplished this, he accomplished that, which it was just kind of like bizarre. Like, honestly, like, if JoJo's Bizarre Adventure wasn't a thing, this should be Denji's Bizarre Adventure, because holy shit, was just so many things weird, bizarre, like, again, the date and all that shit, Makima saying save me, Chainsaw Man, and then Makima having the audacity, fam, when she told Kishibe, I'm a fan of the Chainsaw Man, I was just there, and she even is fanning out with Chainsaw Man and shit, like, oh, you're living up to the legend. I'm just kind of like, what? So you tortured and did all sorts of fucked up shit to Denji, and you're even fighting the Chainsaw Man because you're a fan? And it seems as though, like, looking at Makima, right, she's a villain, and she is, like, the things that she's done, Reze, Power, Aki, and shit like that, like, just thinking about it is, ooh, fucking with me. But, you know, she's definitely an antagonist and a villain. Like, she's done some really horrible things, but she also, in my opinion, is trying to do things for a better purpose, because the Chainsaw Devil, if he eats devils, every devil that he eats, they disappear from existence. So when Makima's talking to Kishibe, and she's mentioning that there was alternate routes to, instead of death, like, you know, the way you die and shit like that, there was 4 different routes, and Kishibe's like, what are you talking about? And she brings up Nazis and shit. He's like, what are Nazis? Because the Chainsaw Devil has already eaten a lot of these things. So it seems as though potentially she wanted Chainsaw Man to eat all the horrible things out of existence, so that way the world could be in a better place, a better space. So maybe that's Makima's goal. It doesn't seem like she really wants to be like a dictator, because why didn't she kill Kishibe already? I'm still wondering why Kishibe is alive and she hasn't taken him out completely yet. Like, that's something that I'm like, okay, whatevs, but Makima, you bitch, I hate you. And like I said earlier, Makima pulling a Edo Tensei and bringing back so many people from the past. I mean, we've seen from Quan Chi, we see fucking Aki, of course, Power, Reze, and when she brought back Reze at first, I'm like, yo, you fucking playing with me right now? Like, that was something that really emotionally fucked me, and they all just listening to her, because again, she's a control devil. She even brings back the Angel. She brings Angel back. I'm just like, I'm dumbfounded. I don't even know. Like, the way things is moving, it's like taking some arguably shonen tropes, because, like, you know, that's like a Edo Tensei, bringing the dead back, woohoo, except, like, it doesn't feel like it at all. Like, it genuinely just feels exclusive to Chainsaw Man, and it's done in such a fashion, a brutal fashion. You just seen murder left and right, Chainsaw Man taking out Reze without no remorse or anything like that. Like, no, bitch, you're dead already, like, it's over, like, my god. And then finding out, which, again, like, Fujimoto, whatever he creates next, I'm definitely reading, hands down. And I gotta go back and read Fire Punch, because like this man is just like indescribable with his writing abilities. Like the more people cheered on like Chainsaw Man, because you go throughout the series of all the good deeds that he's done, quote unquote. You know, he saved people, he rescued people, even now and shit like that. So the more they're cheering though, the Chainsaw Man is getting weaker, which again, Makima, like, absolute eyes in, hands down. Like if this gets an anime, which it still should get an anime, even if it's ending and shit like that, I don't see why it won't get an anime, other than that it's too graphic, I guess you could say. But no, like this better get an anime. Makima is one of the best villains of all time. In fact, she is on that Aizen level that she, even that having it that people are cheering him on and it's weakening him. Like you cannot tell me that she isn't greatness. Like Makima is greatness in terms of like you hate her for all the right reasons. Like you're supposed to hate her. This isn't like a Sakura Haruno where you're supposed to love her but you hate her. Like no, you're supposed to despise this woman, and everything that she's done helped that reason. And I know I kind of did a broad stroke of all the latest events and shit like that, but I really want to talk about the latest chapters. So the latest stuff, like 90 and 91, Power returns from the blood that Denji drank of hers. She was still technically in his body, and also we see Pochita is still in there, which I feel as though we could have get a chapter or two to explain that and flesh that out a little bit more, especially with Pochita. It was just kind of like, wait, Pochita's in there? I mean, you could argue, you could have the idea that, yeah, he probably was in there because, you know, the whole Chainsaw Man thing. You would think that Chainsaw Man is Pochita in his real form or something along the lines of that. So you could have that argument there, but basically Power returns, saving Denji at first due to Pochita saying like, yo, if you eat me, because you're basically the blood that Denji drank right now, but if you eat me, you can return, and please save Denji. And when she shows up at first, she's like saving, you know, she's fighting Makima, giving Makima a run, which Makima, I don't even know how many times she's probably died at this point, getting pierced and all sorts of shit, from like Chainsaw Man to now Power and shit. But then at the end of the chapter, I think all of us collectively just went, not again, when she's like, yo, Power, listen to me, put him down, and she's like, yes, all for you. I'm just like, oh my god, Makima, drop dead, I hate you. But then we get to 91, and I broke down. I'm gonna lie, I really broke down. Chainsaw Man's been an emotional roller coaster for me. Like, I've been really attached to this character. I felt like Denji is so relatable from the very first chapter on, of him being in debt and him being fucked up and everything bad that has happened to this guy. I felt like, holy shit, I relate to this guy in so many different facets. It's crazy, like from even, you know, just stuff that has happened that I just feel like I really relate. So when he's having that conversation, when Power actually turns back and thinks back to the moments that she's had with Denji, and she decides, no, I'm going to save him, and rushes over to the point where she's like disintegrating there to put him in the dumpster, and they have that reunion. Woo! I'm not even gonna lie. When Denji tells her like, yo, you know, from when I was trapped in debt and shit like that to now, I accomplished a lot of my dreams. I got to eat the greatest foods. I got to play video games with you guys. I even slept next to you. You know, there's nothing more that's good waiting for me out in life right now. I'm good on living. Thank you though, Power. And when Power says, oh, what are you saying, stupid? You're saying that you can't do anything without me? And he says, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, yo. And on top of that, when he says, oh, and you know, you won't be here, Fujimoto, you created one hell of a manga. And that scene right there, that broke me down. Like, even talking about it right now, I'm getting very emotional, because I just compare it to stuff I've been through, it, especially 2020 and shit. I'm not trying to get personal on you guys, but this manga I relate so heavy. Obviously take away all the fantastical stuff, but just Denji being in these situations and having that one final conversation with Power. And at the very least, there was a silver lining. Power saying, yo, you know, when devils are reborn in hell and they come back, like, it won't be me per se, but I want you to go, I want you to find the blood devil, befriend him, whatever it takes, befriend him and turn the devil into me so I can be your buddy again. Oh my god, I ain't even gonna lie, that hit, that really fucking hit. That scene right there, that was fucking just sad, beautiful, and man, that was tough. Chainsaw Man, like, yo. And you know, at the very least, we ended off on a lighter note with Kishibe outside of the dumpster, and Denji pops out and he's like, yo, are you Denji or that Chainsaw Man monster? If you're Denji, cool, I'll help free you from Makima. If you're the Chainsaw Man monster, go back to sleep in there, motherfucker. And Denji just gives him the peace sign. I'm just like, oh man, I'm gonna miss this manga so much. I really thought we were gonna have a long time with it. It's doing so well numbers wise. It is one of the best stories in Shonen Jump right right now. Honestly, it probably is, if not the best, top 3 best manga of 2020 from everything I've read. Curious you guys' thoughts on this. How did you feel about the reunion with Denji and Power, what he said to Power? Seems to be that's going to be the next goal, is to find the Blood Devil and turn the Blood Devil into Power. Again, it won't be Power, but yeah. And your overall thoughts of everything that's gone down, theories, predictions, Makima's goals, Kishibe showing up, like, what do you think of everything? Like, honestly, just Chainsaw Man, absolute fucking greatness. And however long we have with this manga, whether it's the remainder of the year or whatever, I'm gonna treasure it. I fucking love this series. Amazing stuff. Greatness, 10 out of 10. Loved every fucking chapter so far. That's all I have for this one though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Oh, and fuck Makima, by the way. Have an awesome day. Peace in, and once again, so much love and shout outs and all that stuff to Chainsaw Man. One of my favorite manga of 2020, and honestly probably gonna go down as one of my favorite manga in general. Like, this shit is a gem and a half. Emotional roller coaster, comedy roller coaster. Like, talk about making you really care deeply and love some characters. Like, let's see how this bad boy ends off, baby. Yeah.
It's nights like this, and times like this, that I can give another hit. But I've got this inside a switch, a natural bliss. But